This is the LMX Minimap editor. It lets you design a custom GTA 5 minimap from inside the game itself and have it live on your server in just a couple of clicks. You don't need Photoshop, no Fiverr commissions, and no separate conversion tools. I'm going to start showing you the 3 coolest features and then walk through everything else. Then show you the configuration and what it looks like in the game. One of the first coolest features is the fact that most satellite maps come with labels that are already burned into the imagery. Postal numbers, street names, place names. So if you wanted those gone, you used to have to mask each one or in Photoshop or hire someone to do that for you. But with this, you just grab the hue brush tool, paint over what you want gone, and our AI model just fills in what should have been there already. Gone. Look at that. The actual satellite imagery is there as if the label was never burnt in. You can do that for roof intersections, road junctions, anything, and the model runs locally for you on your computer. Then, once you clean it up, you grab the text tool and drop your own label wherever you want it. I'm gonna make my own street called Limac Street in the game, where you can just give it a stroke and shadow so it pops out, and you've just replaced what GTA shipped with what you actually want on your map. The second one, say you've got a custom hood and you want to drop it onto the map. For this example, I will use Milo's Chicago Sky Hoods, which you could just fly up using no-clip, take a screenshot of the buildings, and hit Ctrl+V inside of the editor. It lands as a movable element you can position anywhere. The colors of the screenshot probably won't match the map underneath, but there's an auto match button in the properties panel that samples the surrounding map pixels and shifts your image for it to blend in. The brightness, the saturation, and the hue are all adjusted in just one click, and you can touch up the edges and it looks like it was always there. The third coolest feature I really like is that if you've already got a custom map mod with YTDs and you just want to put your own labels on top of it, you don't need to convert anything to any PNG formats, anything. Just drop the folder of the YTDs straight into the import folder, restart the resource, and it shows up in the drop-down like any other tile set. You can see the New York map I have here, for example. The script reads the YTDs directly, just drop and edit, and most map mods on the internet just work. Any Liberty City maps, Vice Cities, custom satellite packs, all of them. If your file names have an unusual prefix, the script automatically tries the common patterns, so it's going to figure it out. Here's some quick basics on the Minimap editor itself. You just type /minimap to open it, and there's an ACE permission lock, so only people you trust can pull it up. Pan with right click, drag, zoom with scroll, and the bar at the bottom shows your live world coordinates and zoom level so you can place labels at exact spots. And the home snaps you back to fit the whole map. The top right drop-down button picks which base map you're going to be working on. 4 maps come built into the script. The vanilla GTA map for a clean canvas, the Olsen Satmap for 4K satellites with postal numbers, the customs postal map for a clean postal grid, and a satellite map with no numbers if you just want to lay them down yourself. The first load takes a few seconds, and after that, switching is instant. Let me now walk you through the toolbar. There are 11 tools in the toolbar, and all of which have keyboard shortcuts. If you just hover over each tool, you will see exactly what it does and what shortcuts it has. The select on V is the default one where you'll spend most of your time. You can click anything to grab it, drag it, move it, and drag the rotation handle on text, drag polygon vertices to reshape, drag rectangle corners to resize. T is for text, Z is for the polygon tool for drawing zones. This is useful if you want to draw gang zones, for example. S is for rectangles, I is dropping point of interest markers, kind of like blips, but they're permanent on the map. D is a freehand drawing, E is the eraser, M and B are the mask tools that paint over baked artwork, Y is the eyedropper for sampling colors off of the canvas, and H is the AI heal we already covered. The right side panel works like Photoshop. It has 6 layers built in, the base tiles, which is the source imagery, stays locked, then 3 separate layers for freehand drawings, so zone colors, zone names, street names, and icons. Each one has visibility, lock, and the opacity controls. If you want to keep something organized separately, hit add layer at the bottom, custom layers can be deleted, and built-ins can only be hidden. The bottom of the screen shows you the properties panel. You click on anything you've placed and the panel populates with whatever is relevant. The text gives you content, font, 8 built-in, the size, the color, the rotation, the letter spacing, all the way through the stroke and shadow. You just drag a slider and the change shows on the map immediately. Polygons get fill, stroke, opacity. Images get the full set of brightness, contrast, saturation, hue, blur, plus the auto match and feather we already used. Pretty much anything you'd want to tweak to an element, you can find it right here. Here is also a couple of workflow basics. Undo and redo are the standard, Ctrl+Z and Ctrl+Y. 50 levels of history by default, so every change is reversible. Autosave runs in the background every 2 minutes, so you don't lose your work. If you want named versions, Ctrl+S saves the current project, and the open button lets you load any of them back. A project is a complete snapshot of layers, elements, calibration, tile set, all of it. The left-hand panel is the presets. 8 come built in, covering the style people actually want. Vanilla, dark mode, clean and minimal, the blueprint, the pastel for RP servers, the gang territory if you want everything bold and red, a couple of satellite styles. You click one, every label and zone you've placed gets restyled in one shot. Change your mind halfway through, you don't have to redo the whole thing, just pick a different preset. It's all undoable, and you can add your own as well in the JSON part of our script. Now the big one, the export button. Hit the button and the script does the whole pipeline. It renders every layer, encodes the tiles into YTD files, and drops them straight into the stream resource you've configured. No external applications, no OpenIV, no PNG conversion, no dragging between files and folders. If you peek into the output folder, you'll see exactly what it wrote. The C tiles for the pause menu, the LAN tiles for the in-game radar, a LOD tile for when you're fully zoomed out, and another stack of subfiles that block the default GTA map from showing. It also writes a basic client script that keeps the radar zoomed in, and an FX manifest, so the script starts. The resolution is picked automatically based on the tile set you were editing. Once you press export, restart the server, and voila, open the map, and there it is. Exactly what you saw in the editor, now live in your server. The pause menu, the corner radar while you're walking, fully zoomed out and worldview, all of it, same quality the editor was also showing. Here's a quick tour of the configuration file. This is a config.lua at the end root of the resource. The top of the file is the ACE permissions, which is the gate I mentioned earlier. Default is LMX Minimap editor, and you grant it through the FiveM way with add ACE in the server CFG. Below that, there's a framework integration where you can list which framework you have, and you automatically get admin depending on the framework. Then there's a section of tunables, the autosave interval, the undo history depth, the export chunk size, the default resolution. Most of you should never touch these. The tile sets table is where you can add your own to the dropdown. Each entry takes an ID, a display name, and the folder it lives in, and a flag for whatever it has labels built in. The imported tile sets lists right under it empty by default because the script auto discovers folders in the directory, but you only fill this in if you need to override an unusual file name prefix. Below that, you've got the export format, the auto deploy target, and the world bounds. Everything's commented, so you can see exactly what each option does. That's the LMX Minimap editor. Links in the description, Discords too. Catch you there.